Hello again, this is Jeff Bessa from Charting Horse Value and going to do a video on the Oaks Day, again covering the grade 1 race and the late the pick 5 sequence ending with the Oaks, races 7 through 11. Not looking at past performances, you can do that on your own, looking strictly at the chart, and going to try to give you strong win contenders, backup horses to use in serial wagers, try to identify where there is value, where there's favorites you can fade, and trying to find good closers that you can use in bottom of serial exotics. So race 5 is a grade 1, gets a score of 0 on a scale of 0 to 5, and that's because there's very little value, and the top horse is a very strong contender but doesn't have any value. So idiomatic, what I try to tell you is the first thing is for the strong contenders, look for a horse that gets a plus with the letter grades. This is a K plus. Horse that it gets a K, same, and ranks on top of the chart with the lowest PFDS odds. Look at those 3 horses. In this case, it's all the same horse. That's your strong contender. Other letter grades become backup horses. So this would be Shigera gets a backup. And as far as closers, those are also the best closers in the race. So this is a pretty chalky, pretty basic race. I would be singling idiomatic in any vertical exotics. Horizontal exotics, and I would be singling idiomatic on top of any vertical exotics. But pretty tough race to wager on because there's just not any value. Moving to race 7, the first leg of the sequence, pick 5 sequence, ending with the Oaks. Again, same story. The plus, the K, and the top PFDS horse are all the same horse. That's First Mission. That's this very strong contender. The next tier, I would look at A horses or a letter grade horse that gets the most value, and that's Trademark, the 10. Gets a B with $8 of value. That's the best. So that's probably the second horse I'd be looking at in my serial wagers and looking at on top of vertical exotics. Call Me Fast would be a backup, a deep backup. Gets a rank of 1 for energy, gets a B grade, so that's a deeper backup. And that's pretty much it for on top. Underneath, I'd be looking at very good closers, and there's 2 to look at. One's Il Miracolo with a 100, and the other is Steel Sunshine with an M3, probably a little bit better closer, an M3 with a 102. These would be horses I'd be looking at underneath in exotics. I'm definitely going to fade Tapit Trice. Second choice in the morning line off an 8-month layoff. Only ranks 4th in my chart, no value. That's a fade all the way. So that's that race. Race 8 is a turf route. Again, let's look at the plus horse with letter grade is surprisingly. There's no K race horse in this race, but he's also the top horse in PFDS odds, so that's the strongest contender, surprisingly. Backups I'd be looking at are Sparkle Blue, which gets the B letter grade and $7 of value. That's highest letter grade with value, highest value with a letter grade. So those would be my top 2 for serial wagers, and then this would be a deeper backup, gets a B, but only 3-1 morning line off a 5-month layoff. Definitely only a backup horse, budget permitting. And then for closers, you got a big bomb here on the turf with a 101 late speed. Maybe you could get bottom of the trifecta at a huge price. This horse has got a 96 late speed, also a big bomb. So you got a couple bombs that with good late speed. But on top, I'd be looking at the 610. Maybe looking at the 5 a little bit as a backup with the 4, and then the big deep closers at big price. Moving to race 9. Again, plus horse, K horse, top horse, all the same horse. This horse also gets an S for spot play. I mean, this is really good wager, and that's Denim and Pearls. I'd probably be singling this horse in any horizontal exotics. And this is my primary horse to use on top of verticals as well. This horse, Art Harper Rose, F9 with 109 early speed. Should get the lead. There are a few front runners in here. And this horse doesn't have a great late kick, but should get the lead. Could hold on in an exacta underneath Denim and Pearls. I like using that horse. As far as big closers in the race, really not a lot to choose from. This one here, 93 late speed. Accommodate Via with a C3. Might look at using that long shot underneath in vertical exotics. But horizontally, I'm singling Denim and Pearls, and I'm using R. Harper Rose underneath with maybe Accommodate Eva. Definitely not going to play Impel. Fading Impel, who should get caught up in the speed battle with R. Harper Rose and Astorina. And 5-2 looks like a poor bet, so I'm definitely fading that horse. So that's how I see race 9. Race 10, Turf Route. Turf Route, I love PFDS odds. Top 3 PFDS odds are Hard to Justify, Buchu, those are the 2 favorites. And then Simply in Front, who's a long shot with the 2-3 form cycle. Those are the top 3 horses. Simply in Front has the best letter grade value combination. So I would look to use all 3 of those in serial wagers. And as far as win wagers, I probably would be looking very hard at Simply in Front. Backup horses, budget permitting, 10-13. And then deep closers. You love deep closers and turf routes. Mo Fox Givens got a 91 deep closer, a couple ranks of 3. And then you go further down, there's this dynamic pricing. Gets a 92 late speed. Also has the best jockey trainer combination in the race. I haven't looked at past performances, but I bet you this is a Chad Brown horse. Dynamic pricing, probably a Klarovich Chad Brown combo. But I'd already have those horses in as backups. But that's a good closer. So that's how I see this race. Kind of chalky on top. Maybe we can get Simply in Front home at a price. And then use the backups, budget permitting, and use these good closers. Finally, the Oaks. A lot more detailed analysis written and provided on the website. But I like ways and means. Now, all the contenders in this race are kind of drawn wide, including Just FYI and Leslie's Rose. But ways and means is actually drawn a little bit inside of them. So I like that. This horse gets 2 ranks of 1, is tops on the chart, gets an A grade. This is my top pick to win. Now, Candied, if Candied draws in, right now also eligible at 16 holes, so needs 2 scratches. But if Candy draws in, I really like this horse and is the top letter grade value combination, C with 17. Granted, going to be extremely wide, but you're getting 20-1. So I really like that horse. Just FYI and Leslie's Rose are both really good contenders, but short prices and drawn wide. Tarifa, also the morning line favorite. We'll see who ends up going favored, but Tarifa's going to be a lukewarm favorite. This horse was pretty impressive, winning in Louisiana last 2 preps. Gets a good draw here and best jockey trainer combination with this one here. I really like Tarifa. Probably my second choice to win in this race. Torpedo Anna is another horse I really like. A little slow on energy, but that race was impressive. I think that's the Arkansas Fantasy race. And, people had that race slow, but I was impressed by that performance. So, possible contender, not as strong as Ways and Means by any means. And then as far as long shots closing underneath, I like Where's My Ring, gets a good draw. Great 99 energy here. I like Everland, another closer. You can look at my write-up, but I think those are the main ones, the main closers that I will use underneath. Anyways, hoping to get Ways and Means home. And I think as far as the double, the Oaks Derby double, I would use the 5, 8, 11. Okay, if you went 3 deep, let's say I used a 5, 8, 11, and then in the Derby, I'll talk about that in the separate video. Okay, thank you very much.